burn it out. But let me tell you. Let's go back in time when seeing your ID on mine made me crazy, oh crazy. I'm saying, let's go back there. Go back there. Let's take it there. Take it there. I'm talking about back in time when you want to know every move. How to keep this move, keep it up with me. Oh, don't be crazy, but don't be. Let's go back there. Let's take it there. Assalamu alaikum, it's me, Salam Sabi, and this Alicia Keys album is banging. I think this is her third album, and I had bought it a few years back, and I was like, I'm not feeling this, and I just like put it somewhere and I discovered it, and I can't stop playing it. It's such an awesome album. It really is good. It's rare to find an album that you can play back to back. For some reason, I wasn't feeling her a few years ago, but now I guess I'm in that zone. So, album is incredible. You can hear in the background. Ooh. This video is about having too many high expectations. I think some of us have this unrealistic view of how our partners should be. That is, when it comes to status and also physical appearance. And let me just say that many of us would not be here if our parents did not compromise. I wouldn't be here, and probably somebody listening right now wouldn't be here. Compromise is what makes a real relationship work. Compromising is also what starts up a relationship, because you both have to say, well, she doesn't have this, well, he doesn't have that, but I'm willing to compromise. The first thing I look at a man is not really his looks, but his potential. He may not be 6 foot tall, 6 figures, stays in a mansion, drives a Mercedes Benz, but he has potential. And I'm not speaking in terms of material gain, because I notice a lot of people are obsessed with material gain, with having a social status. That's not what I'm necessarily looking at. I'm looking at is this man going to be a good father? Does he have good character? Does he have a good work ethic? I don't care if he's a janitor. Does he have good work ethic? Does he respect the family structure? Those are just some of the basic things that you need to be thinking about. And the same should apply for a man when he looks at a woman. Is she a good mother? Is she going to be a good caretaker? Is she a balanced person? Is she not the bag lady? Carrying plenty of drama and plenty of issues. And I'm sorry, it's the song, it's kind of distracting me, I'm sorry. But our expectations are a little bit too high. It seems that I'm speaking really to black women and black men, or minorities, not really to white people, because I don't really, I see that this is actually an issue even within the white community, but I'm speaking in terms of black people, people of African descent, people of indigenous descent, people of color. And I'm just saying that I see people their priorities are not set straight. And I was the same way. We're more worried about superficial gain than we are about establishing a healthy relationship with our partner. And what I mean by that is we need to stop worrying about how large somebody's booty is, or how big their breast is, or how much money they have in their bank account, or what their job title is. I'm sorry to break it down to a lot of people, but there aren't enough doctors, lawyers, and engineers for every single woman or basketball, football star to go around for every woman. Okay, and I'm sorry to say, dudes, there's not enough Holly Berries, which I wouldn't want Holly Berry if I was a man, because something is obviously wrong with her mentally. She's not all there. I'm just tired of hearing there aren't any good women, there aren't any good men. And when we say good, what are we trying to say? Are we trying to say, because when people say that, I keep on thinking about status. I keep on thinking about social status. Like, an attorney wouldn't dare marry a janitor. Oh my goodness, a janitor. Okay, why don't I say he's the head janitor? He's making what, 30-something thousand a year, and you're making $100,000 a year. Can a marriage work? Of course it can, but you're not willing to so-called lower your financial status, because he may have good character, he may be a hard worker, he may be a good father, but you don't care about all that. He's not 6 foot tall, he doesn't make 6 figures, he's not on my level. There are people who have never stepped foot in a college who have just as much intellectual intelligence as you do. Now, there is certain truth to sometimes if somebody is not on the same, I wouldn't say educational level, but I would say on the same level of knowledge, because anybody can gain education. I know people who have self-taught themselves a lot of things. Their vocabulary is high, they know their field, but they've never stepped foot in college. For some of us, if someone doesn't have a degree plastered on their wall, something they're not what you're looking for. We want to show off. We want to show people what we have. Look at me. I'm a school principal. My husband is a doctor. Look at me. I own my own business and I make $500,000 a year. Here's my boyfriend. He's a chef and he owns his own place and he makes $100,000 a year. Whatever. But we're not looking at what's important. A person's character is so important. And please don't come and tell me, would you marry a bum off the street? Well, one, a bum off the street has removed himself from society and achieving any type of goals. So please don't tell me I would marry a bum. That's ridiculous. I hate extreme examples because they don't ever apply. It's always something crazy. Like, would you marry a man who was blind and didn't have any legs? Like, it's just extreme examples. I can't marry somebody who's blind and doesn't have any legs. How is he going to protect me and our offspring? So that's just common sense. But we have lost touch with what really matters. Especially, I hate to say this, but both black men and black women, we've kind of lost touch with reality and what we really looking for in a partner. The average American is not making 6 figures. The average American is not pushing a Benz. And if they are, then they're probably struggling to pay that. The average American is not staying in a $500,000 house. We're just trying to survive. The average American is working and just trying to survive from paycheck to paycheck. And it just seems like, of course, we know the social issues within the black community, and women are more likely to become successful and to have a higher status, social and economical status, much higher than her male counterpart. But what we fail to realize, sisters, is, okay, here's the issue. We see it. It's laid out on the table. And you've been dating Tyrone for 4 years and he makes 6 figures and he's an executive and he's arrogant and he's this and that, but he still hasn't married you. You know, he only calls you when he wants a romp in the bed, and you're still waiting that one day he's going to marry you. And the majority of the time he won't marry you. You're just a romp in the bed and a quick intellectual conversation. That's pretty much it. After that, he's not going to marry you because he knows that he's an asset. There's this stubbornness on both sides, not just black women but black men. When a black man knows he's on point, he's stubborn. And of course he's fallen for that black women are this and that only the Caucasian or the mulatto or the Asian will do, because that is a sign of success. I'm not going to get deep into that, but that's also a form of stubbornness. You have something against your race, and I'm not trying to hear that speech about, oh, well, black women weren't trying to talk to me. What? I don't care. It's like an overweight person saying, well, I'm not going to date anyone because when I was fat nobody wanted to talk to me. Whatever. I don't care to hear that. Get over it. That is life. Plenty of Caucasian men who are huge nerds who couldn't get females either. I'm just sorry to say it. That's just how it is. But anyways, back to the whole thing. We need to look at the person's potential, not just the potential, but to see them taking action in order to establish a relationship. For example, I have a cousin. He loves the tall, thin, Kimora Lee Simmons. He's not really great. He doesn't really care for skin complexion, but he likes a certain physique of a woman. And he's dated plenty of these women, but ask me, why is he still single? And he's in his 30s. Because he's only about the superficial. He's only about how something looks. That's a man's downfall also. A man's downfall is being too stuck in the physical. A woman's downfall is when she's stuck too much in status and money. Didn't Dateline or 2020 have a special on African American women who were stuck, that they couldn't find a man, and all of them had like ridiculous standards, which I hate to say, but there's not enough black men to meet those standards. They're going to be single for a very long time. I'm not saying to bring down your standards and date a bum or a chick who looks horrible. I'm just saying it's called compromise. Many of us wouldn't be here, like I said before, if our parents did not compromise. And personally, I don't have anything against black men, so I'm not going to sit here and bash. That's not my job. And I don't like hearing black men bash black women because I think it's ridiculous. One thing I've noticed in the Caribbean and in Africans, the average woman is usually married by her mid or late 20s, and she usually has an established family. And of course she wants to marry a man who can provide, but she's not going crazy over the fact that he's not making, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year. She's worried about the fact that he can provide. So I think we need to kind of go back to the basics. Not saying date a bum. I'm saying date somebody who has good character and who you're compatible with. Not saying marry somebody who is just very unattractive and out of shape, but you may meet somebody who's a little bit skinnier, a little bit heavier than what you would prefer, but she may have everything else that you're trying to find. My time is up. I have so much more to say, but it's done. Basically, compromise and let go of your high expectations. Not high, but lower them a little bit. Okay, guys? This is Salam Sabi. Assalamu alaikum.